Ai microfoni di Radio Sapienza.
Vini di Jong.
Ok, allora avevo due domande per te. La prima è quanto il voler raccontare una bella storia, che quindi segua degli archi e quindi di fatto le persone che si raccontano sono dei personaggi, quanto il raccontare una bella storia influenza raccontare una storia reale, che quindi rappresenti di fatto la realtà di qualcosa che succede.
That's a tough question. For one, don't think of people as heroes. Just don't. It's not a good idea. We're all human. Even if you save a life, if you are being honored with a prize, if you are a Nobel Prize winner, you're still human. You have to use the bathroom multiple times a day, just like all the others. And I think it's important to always think about the subject. A lot of news is in the consequence. So, for instance, in the Netherlands last summer, a canoe flipped. A simple canoe. They were in the canoe, they flipped. It became a huge story because the entire family died. But a canoe flips in Dutch summer every day. None of these canoe flips are stories, except this one, because of the consequence. And then you have to think about the people. There were people diving in the water, trying to save this family's lives. That didn't work out. You can talk about these people as heroes, and they did a heroic thing. But that's a big difference. Don't make the person into a hero because he might be, beating his wife and kicking his children, but he did a heroic thing on that day. So make the story about the heroic action, and keep in mind they're all human. Because you don't know what else he has going on, right? He might help an elderly lady cross the street and meanwhile be a child abuser. You wouldn't know. So make sure you use precise language and report on what you know. So I know of the heroic action. I have the footage of it. I made a documentary on it. Whatever you're doing, make it about the heroic action and not about the hero, because he might not be a hero. He did a heroic thing, or she. That's an important difference. And it will make your storytelling and your journalism more accurate, because you can't declare someone a hero, because you can't know everything about somebody. But you can't declare he or she did a heroic thing. That you can do in fact check. So stick to the facts, stick to what you have. And make sure that you realize everybody's human, including yourself. So you might make a mistake. But that's fine. Just correct it.
La seconda domanda che volevo farti è questa. Da quanto so, in Italia il reddito medio per un giornalista si aggira intorno ai 16.000 euro annui. Parlando di questo, che prospettiva hai del giornalismo in quanto attività libera, diciamo, dal mercato e dai trend? Cioè, pensi che si possa fare del giornalismo libero anche, diciamo, da quelle che sono magari testate giornalistiche che magari ti indirizzano verso appunto argomenti più di trend, appunto? Cioè, pensi che un giornalismo più libero sia possibile oggi, un po' più difficile, era più facile in passato?
To be honest, I'd say the future of journalism is in good craftsmanship. It doesn't really matter if you work at a big media company that has a big legacy, an old newspaper. Right now I'm at an old newspaper. They have archives that go back hundreds of years. It's not really relevant. If I do a lousy job, if I do a shitty job, it's no good. Title. I am a freelancer. Doesn't really matter. If I do a shit job, it's no good. So the future of journalism is not necessarily at a title or at whether independent or legacy media or whatever you want to call it, or in a platform. I don't believe that. I believe it's in the quality of your research, good work, and the willingness to adjust to your audience and to find your audience. So if people are starting to read less, maybe not give them thick books, right? Maybe give them a video instead. Or if people are like that, because in my experience, people like stories about other people more than about systems. So don't make a story, if you're investigating a system, make the story about people, right? Because there are always people in any system. So I think it's in good craftsmanship and thinking of your audience and thinking of the subjects you're reporting on. And that's all craftsmanship. And then the platform you use, whether you're on TikTok or Instagram, whether you work for a big media company or you're an independent journalist, that's all secondary, because if you're not good at producing good journalism, it doesn't really matter where you go. Journalism will die. I mean, journalism only lives by the journalist producing good work. That's all. You're as good as your latest productions. That's all there is. And if you do terrible jobs and you keep on doing terrible jobs, you will kill journalism yourself. Right? So no matter where you work. So really, I wouldn't focus on that. If I were young today, I would try to make good stories and try to make the next story better and the next story even better and build on that, because then you can actually go places. And then whoever wants to hire you, they'll find you. If you're good, they'll come for you. Just make sure you're good. And the hardest thing about this, it's harder to stay good than to become good. To become good, like you're a student now. So you do your master's, you get your degree, you do all that. Then you're like, I have this idea, I'm going to work on it. You do a really good job. Perfect. So you got yourself an A. Like you're up there, you're doing well. Fine. You made it. That's what they say then, right? That's doable. But to get another A and another one and another one, that's hard. To get not one scoop, it's doable. But to get a series of scoops, that's hard. To become the best is harder than staying the best. Never forget. So always put in the work. Just keep on doing the work. You'll be good. It's quite easy.
Yeah. Thank you for the answers.